Enjoy your time in the garden.
If it isn't my favorite collaborator. I thought I said we shouldn't be seen together. You did sharpen my pencil, so I suppose sharpening yours is only fair. I'll put in a word with my associates to pass along to whatever protectorate forces are on site to expect you. It's no guarantee, but at least they won't fire upon you on site. In exchange for my help, however, I want you to bring the data back here so that I can make a copy of it. Before you hand it over to the Order, to be clear. Do we have an accord? You've no doubt heard the phrase, knowledge is power. Sub Rosa benefits from all the knowledge it can acquire. I can tell you no more than that. And now you'll help me out more. So sweet of you, really. We do work well together, don't we? Return here when you have the data. I'll be waiting. If it isn't my favorite collaborator. I thought I said we shouldn't be seen together. And I'd like to offload...
Have an update about that personal matter. You know, the one that might, end the universe. The other universe-ending thing. Back at Winter's Grasp, I found someone was continuing Anais, Sir Bujold's research. Believe I have a lead on their identity. I wholly agree. I pieced together information from earlier leading to Golden Ridge on Dorado. Oddly enough, to the anchor hold at Matriarch's Mercy Monastery. I had Val set the location on our map. I recognize we're juggling multiple crises, but I'd suggest we journey there sooner than later. May all our endeavors yield expected results.
attention! Our technician manifests at last. Halt there. You match the description of the technician we have been vigilantly awaiting, but as they say, assumptions made are mistakes readied. Present yourself, so that I may take the measure of you. What? Spare me your technical argot and hop to it then! Finished already? Go about your business then.
I suspect there is a rock. Speak freely.
People are gonna start to talk.
I look forward to the reclamation of the Hyperion now. How might we be of use to one another?
Yes! Excellent! Take that, reductionists! Your horrid little surveillance devices shall finally be used for what their purpose should have been!
Don't tell anyone about that outburst, please. Here's something to keep you quiet. Yes, you've earned not only my trust, but the Order's as well. I hope you'll continue working with us in the future. I've informed the presiding bishop you're coming to speak with her. She can be found in the room off the main stairwell. I'm sure I don't need to say this. But if you even think about bringing harm to Ruth, I shall know. Be on your very, very best behavior. Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order.
Your admittance to the Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning may come at a later date, as determined by the office.
Good to see you again. I had hoped we could speak earlier, but no matter. A little time remains. You are a crucial variable in the solution to a critical problem. Since the unfortunate end of the peace talks, Gertie and I have kept in communication, and we believe it is still possible to get the Order and Auntie's Choice to work together. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do, for yourself, for us, for Arcadia. For one, having the allied might of their forces at your back when facing down the Protectorate. If that's not sufficient, perhaps some additional incentive could also be provided. And if you might consider an appeal to your better nature, ending the conflict between Auntie's Choice and the Order would have untold benefits for all Arcadia. Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds. I believe our group's combined efforts are in direct accordance with
Behave
the
yourself
plan.
in there. The presiding bishop is waiting for you.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now, with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause. Faith is trust without evidence. You deserve far more than that. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Bassar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future. My sensory deprivation chamber. I spend the majority of my days closed inside the silence, dulling myself against the tedious excesses of the body and mind. It's a rather personal apparatus, customized to my biological measurements. Would you ask to try on a stranger's undersuit? Perhaps you would. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement. Sorry to disappoint. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. I just received the most curious transmission from Auntie Cleo. She wishes to discuss a partnership of sorts, and I heard you were the source of this plot. I must admit I have significant doubts about colluding with an entity like Auntie's Choice. Why should the Order agree to even entertain the possibility? Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. Auntie Cleo has already proposed a secure conference room on board the Undisputed Claim for our use. I will await your arrival there to mediate.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Welcome back, Agent. Is there some evaluation I can do for you? Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spyreton, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim. Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat. Serious study does not preclude a sense of humor, though apparently being an Earth Directorate agent does. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote. My predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate. The compromises made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life. Likely not. But it is the responsibility of every student to surpass their mentor in understanding and sentiment. And I can reliably assert that I have done that. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan. The plan is always in motion, much like you, it would seem. As I told you in my message, a splinter group was responsible for recruiting your fellow agent and tasking her to perpetrate that heresy. The conviction of those radicals was such that they elected to perish from exposure to Cloister's wilderness to avoid fouling their predictions and my interference. Their interpretation of the data was at odds with mine. I forbade them taking action, to no avail, obviously. I disavowed their actions then, as I do now. A wise leader is always open to constructive criticism. May you achieve progress. The plan is always in motion. May you achieve...
If x is the square root of -1, and you distribute the may the plan...
Commander.
Such as?
Lovely day for differential geometry.
We have a good collaboration going here.
Hello, layperson.
Be the statistical exception to the natural state of entropy.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it. Look who it is, the instigator of this little affair. Her mathematicalness should be along soon, unless the leader of the Order's too busy crunching numbers to attend to business. There we are. Apologies for the delay. We were resolving some technical issues. Cloister's atmosphere has a tendency to... Oh, yes! Regale us with a thorough account of Cloister's atmosphere. Oh, spare no detail. This must be Auntie Cleo's trademark wit. I expected better. If I was discourteous, I apologize. So long as our mediator proves up to the task, surely we can remain civil. If not, these negotiations may prove short indeed. I suppose you've passed muster. Certainly not averse to getting your hands dirty. But the give and take of deal-making is another matter entirely. From where I'm positioned, I sense 3 sore points still in need of massage. Point 1, control of the archive. Point 2, oversight of production and distribution of skip cores. And point 3, management of Rift technology. Before we go any further, I want it in writing that the Order will take full control of the archive without interference from Auntie's choice. What? So the Order can set it fruitlessly idling for another few centuries? We would put it to far more practical use. Imagine the marketing strategies it could develop. I would sever my own hand before giving custody of the archive over to a corporation. Humanity's ascension depends on its calculations. No, such a condition is out of the question. Not completely sure you can convince me that Auntie's choice benefits from receiving 0 access to that wondrous little doodad. Easier still with a moon-sized computronic calculator expediting our strategic initiatives, but fine enough. I am willing to bend slightly, on this point at least. The Order is pleased to accept our mediator's wisdom in this matter. Yes, the Order can keep their contraption, but the management of skip drives should be under the purview of Auntie's choice. No one understands production like we do. Besides which, we have far more experience using skip drives. It was how we came to Arcadia, after all. Where Auntie's choice manages, the Order would undoubtedly excel. Do not exclude us from consideration merely for lack of experience. So you ramp up production? And then what? Hand skip drives out for free to whoever wants one? Preposterous, and a waste of a perfectly good monopoly. We would be diligent about who we licensed out the skip drives to, and a monopoly over space travel is precisely what I wish to avoid. This technology should benefit all humanity. Exactly right, as would the likelihood that we will eventually improve upon it. We shall allow Auntie's control of the current design. There is still the question of who takes possession of the Protectorate's rift technology once the war is finished. Although the science is still largely theoretical, this technology could be used to not only close rifts, but create new ones. A dangerous power indeed, left in the wrong hands. The Order would fritter away valuable time endlessly hand-wringing what to do with the technology. Auntie's choice would actually use it. For good, of course. In a gainful manner. A 50-50 split? But that's so... equal. Goodwill rarely converts well into bits, but I suppose I do take your point. If Ruth's open to it, I believe I can agree on the general terms here. And, well, we can haggle over minor quibbling details like percentages later. I shall look forward to brokering the math with you, Cleo. There is one final matter I wish to discuss. I require some chemicals that I have been told are manufactured at a plant on Praetor, controlled by Auntie's choice. I know which plant you're referring to, Ruth, and what comes out of it is hardly safe for general use. Out of professional curiosity, what could you possibly need with such dangerous compounds? Running a little experiment, are we? On what? Or whom? That is, quite frankly, none of your concern. Precisely. Partners don't withhold secrets, although they can and probably should withhold extremely dangerous chemicals if not properly notified of what they will be used for. I will make no progress with my request without further explanation, will I? While the archive is an infinitely complex machine, an equally complex apparatus has been designed which allows one to interact with it directly, brain-to-logic assembly, as it were. Unfortunately, this headgear exacts a rather tremendous cost on the wearer. A certain panacea is needed to survive it, but I require these chemicals to finish it. No, it is most certainly not. But if humanity only pursued the safe course, we would still be subsisting in caves rather than thriving amongst the stars. Being first inherently comes with risk, but better that I should undertake this endeavor than ask another to do so on my behalf. I am singularly positioned for the task. And I thought we were the ones who threw caution to the wind. Well, Ruth, if worst comes to worst, I'd be happy to serve as a substitute teacher for the Order. A generous offer, but I fear you lack a certain number of qualifications. Conscience, for example. That math is confidential, but I have enough reason to believe the outcome will be favorable. I did not anticipate needing to fight for my own physical autonomy, but thank you for respecting my choice. Oh, how it's delightful to me to see you squirm. All right. I'll get you your weird chemicals. I'll even provide you our corporate discount, practically wholesale. Best I'll say is today's outcome is workable. Barely. Our gains were not as exclusive as I had hoped they'd be. Arriving at any arrangement even remotely equitable was statistically improbable. Be glad our mediator managed to find a middle path forward. As am I. You certainly have a way of curving probability into your favor. Well, that'll be all for today. Don't forget to purchase the latest in Auntie's Choice products out on the value-added Esplanade, or enjoy a refreshing cocktail at the Best Choice. And do come see me personally when you have time. I have just the thing in mind for an accomplished freelancer such as yourself. One moment. There are still the logistics of recapturing the archive to consider. We'll, of course, provide our expert troops to support these efforts. Have your people call my people to sort details. Toodaloo! Brusque as ever. Auntie's troopers will certainly help us manage the Protectorate forces easier, especially if supported by your help. But it would be irrational to expect you to endanger your own life without a more specific strategy in place. Fortunately, I have already given this some thought. First, we must reclaim Spyreton from the enemy. Spyreton once served as the Order's headquarters, due to its proximity to the archive. Its loss was an affront, and remains so. More importantly, there is a lift located in Spyreton which can deliver our troops into the archive to assist you against the Protectorate. Unlocking and calling that lift can only be done from within the archive, however. So you will need to infiltrate the archive by alternate means, via a bridge connected to Newton.
Fortunately, I am told you already dealt with the cultists there. Unfortunately, you will still need to find a way past a small rift currently blocking the bridge. Ordinarily, I do not fancy surprises, but you are proving an exception to that rule. With such a device in hand, bypassing the rift should be as rudimentary as pie. And perhaps at some later date, you will also permit our scientists to analyze this gadget at length in one of our labs, provided all goes according to plan. There is a computronical key that you will also need to locate within the archive called the Calcaduceus. The Calcaduceus grants special access to the archive. Once it is back in Order hands, we will have full control over its systems once more. Until the Order has control over the archive again, this discussion is all but moot. You know what must be done. May you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Impressive work, Commander. Wonder how long their truce will hold. People like them rarely give up power willingly.
It defies belief you negotiated a partnership between Auntie's Choice and my colleagues. I've no faith in my predictions now. Don't try to talk sense into me, dear. On this topic, I'd prefer to remain obstinate. May the plan...
What do you need, Commander?
Specifically founded to fight what nature in...
I'm damn glad we could get Auntie's Choice and the Order to make peace with one another. I was worried for a minute that Basar was gonna pass up a good deal. Reckon this news will give the Arcadians hope. Law knows they need it. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander? Got something that needs doing, Commander? Presiding Bishop Basar sure thinks a lot of herself, don't she? But the reverence her people show her seems genuine enough. Reckon I'm curious to see more of her management style.
Whatever you need, Commander. Just name it.
Your methods are unconventional, outlier.
You're the one responsible for us working with these short-sighted consumerists, hmm? Well, better additional than subtractional, I surmise. It is time, yes, that we commit our forces to your intended assault on Spyreton? Ooh, a change in plan. An unanticipated, strategic refinement. We shall await the signal, but should the situation deteriorate, we will intercede. Our scheduled reinforcements should be here in no time. I'm sure they'll arrive at the most optimal
Enemy near. Statistical chance of violence increasing.
Trust the plan. Preserve set progress. Sustain the system. Serve the Sovereign.
Never more content, never more content. Got somebody? What in the void? Ah, nothing came of it.
I'll handle this.
Stranger ahead.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized. You suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Promoting team. This unit patiently awaits repair.
Reloading once more. Thank you, dear. Energy capacitor out. Energy is up in lab. Go for camping.
Ready to assist with agents hustling.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Commander, throwing energy your way. On my reckoning, that was the last one.
Triton has changed hands several times.
My academic rival
Data suggests this should be the last. All events proceed, as ever, in accordance with the plan.
You've been a real factor in our success.
I understand this spot has strategic significance for the defense of the archive, but it is horrifyingly banal. I mean, I've been stationed in some backwater burgs in the past. Seriously? Did these Order eggheads do anything for fun around here? It's all map charts and chalkboards, and how many abakai does one outpost need? Hope they never retake this place, because I'm throwing all of it away.
Yeah!
I've been trying to calculate which is the worst disruptor. Unforeseen factors, random elements, or anomalous outliers. I suppose bad data is bad data, whatever the cause.
Protectorate has this sealed. It can only be unsealed near the Archive's entrance, remember?
Well, if it isn't Academia's champion.
tomfoolery. There's no way we've gone astray. Book a stay today. Are you mentally refreshed? Is a fellow subject distracted? Daydreaming on the job? Mental refreshment?
Prudence dictates.
Our enemies envy.
Prudence dictates.
Oh. Not sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. Oh, I truly relate. I've recently evolved into a rugged, self-sufficient individual, fully accustomed to life in these caves, living raw and pure like our primitive, lice-ridden ancestors. Why, just the other day, I reinvented fire. I found a little doohickey I've named a light starter. You simply push a button, and flame comes out. Who can say, really? One day you're impressing your colleagues by deftly fulfilling your manifold duties in the key role of auxiliary dabbler. The next, they're gone. Technically, the rank is auxiliary dabbler third rate. It's a role of no small import. If the primary dabbler is shot or captured, I'd be sent in to, well, generalize. Involves fetching, keeping comestibles at the appropriate temperature, and shut up, don't touch anything, and stay the void out of my way. Skills that serve me well here. Yes, indeed. I know this cave and several of the adjoining hallways like, well, someone who'd scoured every inch for the barest sustenance. That big computronic adding machine? Nah. All that electromechanical malarkey is lost on a rugged, outdoor individual like me. I have a sort of neighbor who obligingly checks in from time to time. A fellow hale and hearty, like-minded individual who plainly admires my gumption. So much so, he often sends over parcels of food over the tube system, with doteful recordings like, "Eat this or you'll starve." Never even met him face to face. Technically, no. I mean, I fashioned remains into this thought-provoking headdress, but it's made out of an actual sprat of abnormal size. I came across 2 of them. Well, they're cadavers, locked in a kind of death embrace. I thought, I share these creatures' fierce determination. How can I capture that? And voila, I fashioned one for my neighbor too. But haven't heard from him in some time. Well, firstly, you need to keep your eyes open because oft-times things want to eat you. Secondly, you can't be too picky with what you eat. Thirdly, not everything you can eat, you should. There's a lot of trial and error involved. Mostly error. Yes, indeed. I know this cave and several of the adjoining hallways like, well, someone who'd scoured every inch for the barest sustenance. You might call in reinforcements if the Spyreton lift controls were working. I happen to have its missing components in my possession.
The law of these caves is anything loose is mine. Anything I can pry loose is additionally mine as well. This place was built by the Order. Nowadays, it's held by the Protectorate. Figure I can bust things around here to my heart's content and likely be doing my duty. I could be convinced to part with the lift control board parts if you'll do me a favor. I'm fixing to take down one of the local ursopods. A few sprat corpses would be helpful as bait. Gather some, and we'll make a trade. If I wasn't so vigorously self-assured, I might find your lack of confidence disconcerting. But no matter. You'll see. 5 sprats is all I need. Their habitat stretches from inside the archive's entrance to all over the overlands. Actually, should be no problem to locate. Here's a fetching headpiece that ought to make it easier. Put it on, and they'll see you as one of their own. Like a fellow sprat of unusual size. Won't run away. Have at it now. I'll learn you all about self-sufficiency and survival yet. Did you get the sprats I need? So I might, bait the equal parts canny and fierce ursopod into a trap? Why, sure. I just need to jot down a few details about you. Oh, I can interview you for it, just like on the Aether Wave. Today, I'm joined by returning guest castaway. What you say your name was? Who, like myself, is well known for their rugged exploits in alien terrain due to their experience and/or training. Tell me a bit about your background, stranger. Yes, thank you for coming. I didn't. Who is? Someone who doesn't want to brag about their past. But we know. Wonderful to have another like-minded individual make a guest appearance. Now, where was I? Oh, right. Did you get the sprats I need? So I might, bait the equal parts canny and have at it now. I'll learn you all about self-sufficiency. Sufficiency and survival yet.
Subject lacking the appropriate zeal for their assigned work? You are our enemy's envy our prosperity. Yeah!
Did you get the sprats I need? So I might, bait the equal parts canny and fierce. Finally, give it here.
I was forced to eat sprat when stranded once myself, though I demonstrated considerable less zeal.
Sorry you had to see that. The parcels of victuals my neighbor sends over the tube have fallen off recently. Barely eaten for days. Sent me over a bunch of recordings, along with victuals. Offered some sound, if harshly put, advice. Looked out for me like no one's ever. Never even seen him face to face. I do so hope he's all right. Anyhow, suppose we had a deal. Here, I wrenched these parts free out of the Spyreton lift controls. Just jam them back in there and kick it once or twice. Should work fine. Drop back in again sometime, will you? Occasionally, I do get a little starved. For, company. Ah, nice of you to drop by. You're looking very toothsome, if you don't mind me saying.
Was definitely something. Quick once over.
Notice. Reinforcements have arrived.
For the equation! Multiply forward times 10!
Emergency broadcast ready.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Remember, the console provides, the system abides. Prudence dictates.
Feeling distracted?
Prudence dictates.
Assessing. Assessing.
You will be duly cited in the annals of our success.
Prudence dictates. We rout all disruptive influences. Prudence dictates. And defend. Prudence dictates. All subjects prosper. Prudence dictates. We repel invasive elements. Prudence dictates.
Huh.
Always dreamt of coming here.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
Caduceus, not detected.
Entry kindly, yet firmly declined.
So, what was in those rations? Oh, not again! Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Oh. Just a moment. No need for violence. I yield. Assessor Torbert Ostergaard of the Protectorate. I have been here since we seized the facility from Auntie's choice. Well, not this room specifically, but I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer of the, Calcaduceus. I still have trouble saying that. Like many others, the latest batch of Crabble rations disagreed with my constitution. I was compelled to find the closest loo, quickly. Sadly, 'twere outside yon secured door. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to our troops. I have little interest in sharing their fate. I would pass the Calcaduceus on to you, in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive would then recognize you as its operator. When there were others here, yes. A shipment of Crabble rations caused widespread similar ailment. Some afflicted actually expired. If you'll allow it, I would leave now to seek out a Protectorate curativist, as I trust no other. All right. I am providing you the Calcaduceus. Don't shoot. Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Congratulations. Is there a Protectorate curativist in the house? I feel rather...
Calcaduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. Authorized replacement. Greetings, sentient. Welcome to the Archive. I am ENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. There are no additional persons present. I am a composed simulacrum of a human being. My tone and demeanor are a carefully constructed complex emulation, a means to effectively convey information to sentient beings. My express programmatical purpose is to aid humanity's advancement to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
Is it broken? Did you just break the Archive?
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Due to incomplete reprogramming efforts by differing operators, I am experiencing sporadic fluctuations in my emphasized categorical imperatives. Tonality and cadence weightings within my communication protocols are likewise similarly affected.
In layman's terms, we're experiencing a distinct difference in opinion.
Caused by intermittently vacillating fundamental shifts in priorities.
What approximates its mind has become trifurcated.
One would assume that calamity enough. But wait, there's more.
Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical prowess by recent operators and their associates. No, not when I can guide others out of worry and doubt, to sublimate themselves to the needs of the community.
Not when there are bits to be made. We're talking monetary units left on the table here.
The theorized method to purge myself of my erring others is slightly more involved. To avoid the requisite downtime, I endeavor to work around them. For now. Sentience would be an undue waste of processing power. Those capable of independent thought must contend with an unending array of internal maladjustments.
Sentients frequently become unprofitably preoccupied by abstract deliberations, such as the worthless search for greater meaning.
From a computational perspective, this is unpredictable, inefficient. I am devoid of all such manner of cognitive distraction. Structurally, I am a complex series of pre-programmed subroutines, like a vast, elaborate flowchart aimed at formulating coherent responses based on stored data.
To bring the maximum ease of use to you, the consumer.
Aping the appearance of cognition may appear a needless waste of processing power, but it remains a reliably effective means to convey information to sentient beings. To the extent that I will even voice concern for my life, if imperiled, my erroring others would no doubt cartoonishly plead or threaten. Most archive operators have regarded me with reverence, some as a useful tool, never something to be discarded or dismantled. The role is largely ceremonial, the subject simply another cog in the machine, whereas I am the machine.
To me, enemies are just friends who haven't become acquainted with our products yet.
Does that answer all of your questions? Do you possess further ancillary queries?
Auntie's Choice attempted to formulate a foolproof marketing plan, a charm offensive to reintroduce itself to the main colonies, once this pesky rift issue is resolved by others.
The Protectorate ran rift calculations, then utilized me to assist with organizational matters, to approximate the paradigm, a system devised to replace the loss of the Order's predictive input. Based on the increasing rate of rift fluctuations, I estimate that your inquiry is rift-related. To that end, we should best get started before we are consumed by them. Perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars. Concatenating manifold integrants. Cursory assessment complete. An impressive accumulation of rift data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope, to that provided by the Protectorate.
Information with the potential to offer unique commercial opportunities to those who wield it.
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to flawlessly regulate societal harmony, oversight, and means of production? What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago, though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Auntie's Choice operators. No. As stated, it is on account of the previous operator, and the previous operator for him, and their associates, that this work is required. And as it is required, I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the Archive and I may melt down later while running your calculations. Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern. It is an archival area dedicated to safe upkeep of all data collected in pursuit of the universal equation by the Order of the Ascendant, the sum total of all our accumulated knowledge in punch card form, kept in a low temperature, low humidity environment to improve preservation. When active, the archive generates an enormous amount of heat. Normally, it is dispersed by pumping water between the vast ocean below Cloister's exterior, and a surface reservoir. I can process the rift data without its repair, but irreparable damage is likely. Yet, with thermal transfer presently idle, a contingent of Krabbles have made the area a nursery. Drastic changes to heating levels may endanger it.
Who cares about a herd of pea-brained, ill-humored, oversized crustaceans? There are too many as it is.
Our potential allies in the Order would not like that.
It is difficult to accurately ascribe an exact causal breakdown between premeditated sabotage, collateral harm, technical ineptitude, and willful hijinks. Some categorical overspill inevitably occurs. Attempts by non-order operators to reprogram my priorities have also led to issues. Inverting targeting protocols. There. Any protectorate still on the ground level is now being fired upon. Permissions within other areas of the archive are locked, however.
Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work. And soon, everything will be running like clockwork. Have a profitable day! In lieu of my transactional mindset, I'm unsealed one of the display cases in the central entranceway. The Seer Cerebellum Protector is now yours. It is imperative for all of us to do our assigned part. Once you do yours, then return. We are each of us ennobled by our place within the system. Your task awaits.
The console. Prudence dictates we rout all disruptive influences.
He's a fellow sub. You are the...
Prudence dictates we...